Hey everyone, welcome back. So I'm adding this little snippet to the beginning of the video that you're about to watch, simply because I'm not sure if I'll be able to publish another video before I leave in roughly 14 days, because we are exactly 14 days from when I'm going to plan to depart to Oshkosh, which is July 20th for myself. Good news is I've got my detops, I've got my CAN passed across the border. If you saw in the last video, I explained that stuff. I've got my port of entry figured out into the States. It'll probably be Minot unless weather gets in the way. That'll be a last minute change. So I will be sending updates as I fly along the way, either through Instagram at HUD Pilot or right here with maybe some shorts. Or possibly some, slightly longer videos taken with my cell phone, or a combination of these cameras and my new Insta360 camera that I bought, which has great editing software on the phone. So I'm planning on doing that. And if you are at Oshkosh, remember, come and see me at the booth. Oh no, wait, I'm not at a booth. Why? Because I'm nobody. So let's enjoy this. Follow me if you like. Tell a friend about me, and I will be at Oshkosh. I'll be at the home built camping area, and hopefully not getting rained out. But either way, I'll be around. If you're out there, just ask me how I'm doing. All right. So we'll see you at Oshkosh. Hey everyone, welcome back for another episode. It is that time of the year. No, not just Oshkosh, but it's time for my annual inspection. So while everybody else is putting in a flight before the bad weather comes in today, I'm going to start working on the plane and go through the annual inspection. You'll be seeing this in a single video, but for me it'll be taking place over at least 2 or 3 days because I only do a bit at a time. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so before we get started, just to let you know, the way I do my annual is I break down the airplane in multiple parts. That is, I work the interior of the plane, I'll do the outside fuselage part, checking all the panels and such, and then I will do the engine area, so the oil change, oil filters when required, air filters when required, and anything else related to that, including the propeller, and then I'll treat the undercarriage separately. Sorry, rented lips. All right, so getting under the seats is quite simple. It's just a matter of getting rid of the seat belts, get them all out of the way. And what I've got is Velcro is holding the seat down. So I'm removing these guys, just attach it at the control stick. There's Velcro in the back, and then it's just a quick lift up and out. Sometimes not so quick. And that's it. Once we've taken the cushion out, it's just a matter of removing the 3/8" bolts and sliding back the seat pan and removing that, so we have access to the autopilot and all the controls on the right side. So we're going to do that on this side, and then we'll just do the exact same thing on the left side. Center section cover and pan get removed so that we have access to the elevator push rod and part of the flap mechanism. For inside the plane, what we're going to do is we're going to remove that back section, and the fuel pump, the hydraulic pump, is back there. We're going to remove this section over here, which is where all the flap mechanism is and the electronics for the flap. Lucky everything in this plane was all done with Velcro when I designed it. So everything is fine on the inside of the plane except for that small leak that I found, or sweat that I found in the inner gear door cylinder. So now I'm going to go check the panels on the outside of the plane. There aren't too many panels or inspection panels on the Lancer 360. Basically, it's one on each side of the ailerons where the aileron bell crank is. There's one on the external wing tip, which is where the antenna for the transponder is, and there are two, one on either side, right in front of the elevator section, to be able to check the bolts and make sure everything is good there for the elevator travel. As part of the undercarriage inspection, besides checking all the gear doors and cylinders, as well as brake lines, fuel lines, and any wiring or switches, I do a removal of the wheels to inspect brakes and repack grease into the bearings. If you want to see details on how I swapped out the brake pads, hit the link above to watch one of my previous videos. Normally, I also swap sides for the wheels. That is, the left wheel and tire go on the right side, and vice versa for the right side. This year, I'm going one step further. I'll keep the wheel on its respective side, but reverse the tire on the wheel. This is so I get even wear on the tire itself. Next year, I'll go back to swapping the left and right as I've done in the last year. So the wheel swap process is as follows. Year 1, left wheel becomes right wheel and right wheel becomes left wheel. Year 2, wheel assemblies stay where they are, but their respective tires get reversed. Year 3 is the same as year 1, and year 4 the same as year 2, and so on. So we're going to take this tire and flip it the other way around on the wheel so that we've got the even wear on both sides. I placed a little mark here just to get it right. The idea behind it is because there's a dot on here. See, there's a red dot that's on there, and that's supposed to match up to the stem, supposedly for balance. So there's the tube. We'll give it a dry wipe, and then we'll put some talcum powder over it to ease it in, and we'll just insert it back this way into the tire, and we'll be ready to go. So what you want to do is that once you've got the tire swapped out, we'll put the tube back in, and it's all loose. What you want to do is you want to line it up, make sure there's no creases or twists in it, and what you want to do is you want to line up the pin where the edge of the tire is, where it's supposed to be. On the other side you would see the red dot. You want to line it up and then just add a bit of air, just a little bit. Just so you can make sure that there are no creases on the inside. Now the talc that you put in there, some folks say that you're not supposed to use that, but the AMEs around here do it, and I've changed these tires before, and this has been in here for, I don't know, years, like 5-6 years now, and there were no issues at all. So it doesn't have any effect on the rubber as far as I know. Again, maybe check with your AME and see what they say. So we just have to make sure that this one here, this side here, you can see is where the pin goes. So we just have to line that up, sit that in there, make sure it's all good. So we're going to overfill the tire just to tighten it up, and then we'll reduce the pressure down to 50 psi. For the engine area, besides doing a regular oil and filter change, I also like to take the time to thoroughly inspect everything else under the cowl, which includes things like checking the brake fluid reservoir level, alternator, and newly replaced gear ring and starter. One of the big moments of the annual is checking the compression on all the cylinders to make sure that everything is up to par. That requires removing the plenum and spark plugs one at a time so that compression can be checked using that special compression tool. Okay, and part of the annual and maybe a couple of other times during the year, the deep clean is important. Get all that grease off the belly, clean it up for a while. That way it makes it easier when you go from place to place or flight to flight if you've got to clean the belly underneath. I hate cleaning the plane. I mean, if I can afford to hire somebody to clean my plane, I would do it. I just hate it. So until then, I have to do it. And the tools that I use are not too complicated. Some natural stuff. These are my buddies back here that we've got. And this simple green I like. I only found it about a year or so ago. It does a wonderful job of cleaning everything off the bottom of the plane. Just spray it on, leave it for about 2-3 seconds, and wipe it clean. It's really nice. For the lighter stuff, I take 10% diluted of this, so it's 10% of, whatever 10% is. It's about, that much, a finger's worth underneath, and fill it up with water. If you need a little stronger, you add a little more into it. But either way, this is diluted. The Windex I used to use all the time on the plane. DA40 guy showed me how to do this. Basically, you take the Windex and it's 10%. You take the non-diluted part, put it in a container, and just put about a quarter of an inch of it in there and fill it up with water. It seems to do a great job. I was using it on my Cessna that way and the Lancer before I ever put the vinyl on it. The stuff works well on the vinyl. It doesn't seem to damage it, so I'll keep doing it unless 3M tells me that, oh, that's a big no-no. But I figure that there are some soaps out there that probably have more harshness to the vinyl than the Windex. So if somebody knows something about that, let me know. All right, so that's it for this episode. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed what you saw, and we will see you at Oshkosh in 2 weeks.